Unfortunately, as we think about this past sports weekend, San Diego State had a great opportunity at home against Fresno State, nationally ranked. It's a 28-28 game. It looks like San Diego State's going to have a chance to win this thing. Field goal late gets blocked. Things just couldn't catch a break, you know? And head coach Rocky Long from San Diego State is on the line.
The Red Rebel!
I'm sure Coach will have some strong opinions about the way things went. Coach Long, good afternoon.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Yourself?
Oh, I could be doing better, but we got another one this week, so we got to get ready for that one.
Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, what do you say after that kind of a loss when you've got that kind of a team beat at home?
Well, you tell the players that they made one more play than we did, that they executed well. They played with whatever energy and heart and everything they had. They put it out all there on the line, and Fresno State made one more play than we did, so we got to move on and try to win the next one.
Wow. Coach, I know we've talked about Quinn Kaler a lot over the last few weeks since he's taken over as a starting quarterback. I find myself really rooting for this young man. I wonder this, and you would probably know or at least have a general idea, what's the percentage difference between when he's under center and when he's in a shotgun formation? Do you have any idea on that percentage?
Percentage in completions?
No, percentage in how frequently he's under center versus in a shotgun.
He's under center probably 70% of the time.
Yeah, and I'm just curious why that is, and I ask it in this way. He seems like he's got some decent moves in the pocket. He doesn't seem like a guy who's going to take off and run with the ball. I'm just curious, why so much under center?
He's under center because we base most of our passing attack, or two-thirds of our passing attack, on under play-action pass. And so he's under center so that he can get a good fake on maybe the power fake or an ISO fake or a toss-sweep fake that has produced more time for him in the pocket. The offensive line's playing a little bit better, but since our two running backs are running well now and we're gaining yards running the ball, he gets a lot better protection with play-action pass.
All right, there's the answer.
Yeah, in that regard, Rocky, Moema had just a monster game, 113 yards rushing. Donnell Pumphrey, what was the problem getting him started?
Mostly he couldn't break to the outside, or he couldn't get through the hole and head to the sidelines and outrun him. Moema had the better night because they're pretty big and strong up front on defense, and he was running over some guys, and he was breaking some arm tackles. So he did a nice job of running inside the way he does, and when he's healthy, the way he looks. And Pumphrey's not quite big enough or strong enough to break through the holes when, they can't break arm tackles, so to speak. So the holes weren't quite as big as they've been in the last couple of weeks, and he couldn't get through them, so you could see his speed. The only time you saw his speed is when he caught a flare pass, and guy barely tripped him, or he might have gone the distance.
All right, we're talking to Rocky Long. San Diego State lost this past Saturday night, homecoming at Qualcomm Stadium against nationally ranked Fresno State in a game that was 28-28. It went to overtime, and Fresno State ultimately won it 35-28. Coach, there's a young man that I think, as we talk about Pumphrey as an example, people go, oh, that young guy, the kid, and he's fast, he's got moves. There's another guy on this team that I think fans need to start getting familiar with, and that's Ezel Ruffin, and I hope I'm pronouncing his first name right. 10 catches, 181 yards.
Yeah, Ezel had a great night. If it wasn't for the one fumble, he probably would have been Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week, but the one fumble that seemed awful strange to all of us because we thought the ball was dead ended up a 78-yard touchdown for them, but Ezel had a great night.
Boy, he really did. Where's that kid out? I mean, just tell us a little bit about him, because I don't know much about the kid.
He's out of Long Beach. His freshman year, we redshirted him because we tried to make him a running back because that's what he played the last 6 or 7 games of his high school career and did a great job. He didn't have quite the feel at running back, so we sent him out to wide receiver, and it's taken him a couple years to get used to it out there, and now he's a pretty darn good player.
Boy, he really is. And Coach Rocky Long with us on Scott BR on the Mighty 1090. Coach, just tell us this, defensively, in the first half, here you have one of the most prolific quarterbacks in all of college football, in this kid, Derek Carr, and you hold him to under 100 yards and about 50% completion in the first half alone, no touchdowns, a low-scoring game. I mean, I'm just thinking, from your perspective at halftime, you probably love where San Diego State was.
Well, I enjoyed the whole game. In fact, I thought that our players, well, Fresno State's did too. I thought both teams played extremely hard. They played with high intensity. There was a lot of good action out there, and it looked like a real football game instead of the track meets that you see a lot nowadays. I thought we played well all the way up to the end. There was a couple things that happened to us in the fourth quarter that made it look like we might fold, but we came back and tied it up and did a nice job of stopping them, make them go 3 and out, drove the ball down with no time on the clock, and had a chance to win it with the field goal. And we got the field goal blocked, and so they won in overtime. So I thought we played, and I'm really happy with the players. I thought they played with great intensity, great spirit. They wanted to win really bad, and they played like they wanted to win really bad, but we didn't make a play when we needed to. And so it's going to be tough for them to come back this week, but you can't blame them for the effort. We didn't win, so it's not good enough, but you can't blame them for the effort.
And you don't see these guys having a hard time bouncing back versus New Mexico, right, Coach?
Well, I hope not. You know, we don't practice today. They were pretty darn quiet yesterday at practice. We don't practice today, so hopefully they'll get over it, and we'll move on tomorrow.
Coach, the kicking game, I just want to get your opinion at the end. Low kick, good pressure by the defense. What did you attribute the block to?
Well, I think they did a nice job. They got a little penetration, but that shouldn't have stopped the kick. I think the kick was low, even though they had a jumper, and he's 6'7", and he reached up there and got a little bit of a piece of it. On film, the kick looks a little low, but kickers do miss, and it's not like the NFL. I tried to tell someone after the game this. It's not like the NFL. You don't, a kicker misses a game-winning field goal. You don't cut him and go look for somebody on the wires. He's just like everybody else on your team. He's a young guy, and you work with him, and hopefully the next time he'll make it.
Yeah, I'll just say one final comment as far as this conversation goes with regards to Fresno State and San Diego State, and it's a 35-28 win for Fresno State. They're 7-0. San Diego State has their first loss inside Mountain West Conference play this year. One thing about it is the difference of watching you guys play on ESPN. I know this sounds kind of corny, but I think if you're a kid who's being recruited and you watch that game, they look great, uniforms look good, field looks good, crowd shots look good, team played really well, competitive game within the conference. I mean, it all looks good when you're playing on the big college football network. I don't know if you have any thought on that, Coach, but from a viewer standpoint, it really makes a big difference, I think.
Well, I appreciate your perspective because I never watched the TV copy because I don't really like to hear what the people say, the commentators, what they talk about. But I never watch it. But, there's some advantages to being on there, especially in recruiting and promoting your program. And if you play on ESPN and you look good, whether you win or lose, it's a positive experience. I mean, obviously it's better if you win, but if you look good on TV, it usually helps with recruiting and fan support and everything else.
Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Coach, a pleasure, a great effort by the kids. Just so happens they come up against the Fresno State team that found a way to make, like you said, one more play. Coach, a pleasure. Thanks,
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.